Hello everyone, this is Chaim Durst, the Wordmuse. Today I'm going to be talking about tone. As you've probably guessed, tone is something that matters a great deal to me. I try to keep a very soothing, very comforting tone to lower the threat level that you might perceive. And I try to do the same thing in my writing. Before you begin writing, take a moment and contemplate the tone that you wish to convey, the attitude that you want to carry throughout your writing. It can be cheerful, it can be angry, it can be optimistic, it could be stormy. You have to decide what genre your writing fits. Do you want it to be a romance novel? Do you want it to be a sci-fi film? Do you want it to be something that's more in the realm of fantasy or noir, a murder mystery? What is it that you want to write? That will dictate completely the tone of the piece that you are writing. One way to think about this is a film. If you were to film your writing, what genre of film would it be? Would it be an action flick? Would it be a suspense? Or would it be just an indie flick that meanders and is very quirky, right? So, just as you convey attitude through the tone of your voice, you can convey attitude through the tone of your writing. And you can do so through your word choice and especially your verbs. Your verbs convey tone more than anything else. Again, verbs are like the paint through which you throw on the canvas, that you generate your image. Those are the brightest colors. They're the most powerful means through which you can convey your attitude to the reader or to the viewer. Your sentence length, how complex your syntax and your grammar are, the point of view, and also how formal or informal your writing is. All of these things can convey your tone or your attitude in life, in your relationships, and your relationship with the reader. So I'm going to give an example where the writer uses really powerful, almost violent verbs, short sentences that are tight, that convey urgency and determination. So it conveys this tone of threat and this tone that you need to take action right now. So this is almost at the sort of the climax of a film where there's some conflict and where it needs to be resolved immediately. So it throws you right into the midst of the conflict. Knife your face. I'm happy with mine. Bleach your skin. I'm yellow and proud of it. Grandma, rise up out of the gutter and dance with me. I'll champion the old Korea. What's left of it? Okay, let's first look at the verb choices. Knife, bleach, rise, dance, champion. Very powerful active verbs, which are ones that I love. There are some linking verbs. I am, I'll. Those sort of complement and balance the intensity of the other active verbs. If they're all active, you're just going to exhaust the reader. But if you balance it out, like this writer has, it creates a sense of urgency, but also a sense of security. Also, I would like to look at the grammar. The semicolons, the three of them, they create a sense of order, a sense of division, and a sense of when you marshal your logic, as if you're sending soldiers into battle. Semicolons can do that very effectively. Now look at the pronouns. I, I'll, it. So it's I and it, right? There's no you in here. It's very personal, but also impersonal. It tends to be impersonal. So again, just like the verbs are balanced, the pronouns are very balanced as well. Now let's look at another sample in which the writing conveys a more philosophical, a more playful tone. The sentences are longer and the verbs are a little bit softer. You bite back when I kiss you. In fact, you taught me that pleasure and pain are intertwined. I can't think of joyful whispers with you without also recalling the screaming matches. You throw your whole face into a kiss. Your nose jabs me. Your cheeks demand that I take notice of them. You want more and more of me. Okay, let's first look at the verbs. Bite, taught, think, throw, jabs, demand, want. Okay, there are some strong verbs like bite and throw and jab, but there are also thought, think, demand, want. There's a little bit more nuanced and softer. Now let's look at the pronouns. You, I, you. You, me, I. You, your, me, your, them, you, me. So there's only one impersonal pronoun, them. This is all about an interpersonal relationship between you and I. It's much softer. It's much more conversational. There's only one, actually there are two semicolons and one colon. But most of these sentences are longer. They create more of a narrative. This would probably show up in a romance novel, right? The other one would probably show up in a thriller. Both have to do with the face, yet both convey their attitude or their tone through very different means. So if you're telling a story, when do you want to add excitement? When do you want to slow it down? And how can you do both? Think about your verbs, your pronouns, your grammar, sentence length, syntax, formality. All of those will allow you to add that excitement, the shorter, powerful hit, or the longer, more circuitous way that you can tell a story. The tone will vary from section to section, but there should be some overall cohesiveness or reason behind your shift in tone. And that's why I stress planning and mapping so much. You can map it out. Well, this paragraph or this section, there's going to be conflict and there's going to be this type of tone, and then it's going to shift. Give the reader a break. You can't just exhaust the reader, right? Plan it out carefully. As I mentioned, if you were a film, if this were shot as a film, what sort of film would it be? Perhaps it's easy for people to visualize what their writing would look like, how it would be perceived by an audience, and then translate that to see how it would be perceived or interpreted by the reader. If your story depicts loss, then the tone should be subdued and even painful. If it's triumphant, then you should be more exuberant. Keep your attitude clearly in focus. After you write each line or each section, ask yourself, do the elements of this contribute to the tone I want to convey? Or are they incongruous with the tone of this section or of the essay as a whole? Plan your tone just like you'd plan the theme or the story. Your attitude in life matters to your friends, to your family, to you. Certainly it affects everything in your life. Just so, the tone of your story affects every aspect of that story. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Chaim Durst, and I am the Wordmuse.